All right, let's look at the homework 7.4, 7.5, problem number 8. Right? So we have a function of two variables, and we want to find all these second partials. Right? So let's do a second partial with respect to x, then with respect to y. All right, so in order to find that, we have to find the partial for first the partial of z with respect to x first. Right? We need to do this guy first. Right? So let's do that. Alright, so first thing I would do is I don't like square roots, so I'm going to just go ahead and rewrite it as quantity 16 minus x squared minus y squared, raise it to the 1/2 power. Right? So let's take the partial derivative. Right? So general power rule. So put 1/2 in front. Keep the same quantity. So it's going to be 16 minus x squared minus y squared. Right? And subtract 1 from the power. So that will be negative 1/2. Right? Then multiply by derivative of inside. So derivative of 16 is 0 since it's a constant. Derivative of negative x squared would be negative 2x. And this is a partial derivative of negative y squared with respect to x would be 0 because y is considered to be a constant. Alright, so we have that. Then we just have to clean it up a little bit. So there's 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. Right, so we have, so this is going to be equal to, so negative x is going to be on top, so I'll put the negative x and divided by, and you have quantity 16 minus x squared minus y squared, raise it to the 1/2 power. Alright, then we're going to take the partial derivative, another partial derivative with respect to this time y. So partial derivative of x, which is already done, and we take the partial derivative with respect to y. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, so for the second one, we'll probably use the quotient rule. Right, so you have a big fraction. Right, square the bottom guy. So that's going to be simply 16 minus x squared minus y squared. Right? And the derivative of the top is going to be negative 1. Oh, actually, sorry. I made a mistake. This is a partial derivative, sorry. Partial derivative with respect to y. So derivative of the top is actually 0, right? Because it's a constant, right? Times the bottom guy, which is not going to really matter. So, but I'm going to write it down so that we don't get confused. All right. So not. All right. So this guy just going to be 0. So I'm going to just scratch that out before I forget. All right. So it's going to be minus, right? Then you have a negative x, so it's going to be positive x. Then multiply by derivative of the bottom, so which is going to be 1/2 quantity 16 minus x squared minus y squared. Right, then subtract 1 from the power, so it's a negative 1/2 power. Then multiply by partial derivative of the inside function with respect to y. So partial derivative of 16 with respect to y is 0, since 16 is a constant. Partial derivative of negative x squared with respect to y would be 0, since x is considered to be a constant. Right, then partial derivative of negative y squared would be negative 2y. Right, So we can just clean it up a little bit. So you have 2 here and 2 on the bottom, cancel out. And it looks like I don't like having this big quantity with the negative power, so I'm going to multiply top and bottom by its reciprocal so that we can get rid of it. So it's going to be 16 minus x squared minus y squared, raise it to the 1/2 power. Right? On the bottom, it's going to be quantity 16 minus x squared minus y squared, raise it to the 1/2 power. Right? That way we can cancel these guys out. So you have cancel this guy, and this is just a reciprocal. Right? Cancel those out. Then we can, let's see, just to clean up, pick up the leftover pieces. Right? So it looks like we're going to have, right, so there's nothing here. So you have x here, then you have negative y. So it's going to be negative xy on top. And it looks like we took care of everyone on top. On the bottom, we just have to combine these two guys. So it's going to be a quantity 16 minus x squared minus y squared, and raise it to the 1 plus 1/2. So it's going to be 3/2 power. Right? So let's type this in. Alright, so the answer we got was, so you have negative xy divided by quantity 16 minus x squared minus y squared, and raise it to the 3/2 power. Alright, so let's check that by submit for testing. Alright, it came back and looks like we got this one correctly. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.